Hi guys, Sarogus here again from Crusade Gaming, bringing you the best of gaming, and today that is still Tera. But today, instead of the Berserker, we're looking at the Sorcerer, the damage caster role of the game, apart from the Mystic, I guess. But the Mystic has off healing sets. Now, what's different? How do casters play in Tera, a True Action MMO? Much the same as a Berserker does, or any other class for that fact. Aim and fire. So this is a Sorcerer's auto attack, as it were. And we have a little AoE effect, and the Sorcerers don't have a dodge. If you don't want to get damage, you must dodge the attack yourself. I must say, that's pretty damn quick damage, and I like it. Very smooth, very easy and flowing. Anyone, and how do you tell if someone's enraged? The cursor does that. Now that may not look like all that big of a range, and I guess in WoW terms, it's really not, but this isn't WoW. This is Tera, where movement speed is affected by combat, if you haven't noticed. But there are ways around that. There are glyphs which allow you to run at normal speed in combat. Like for a Berserker, they have a glyph that allows them to move at normal speed when they're charging attack. Get my AoE. I would think that every class should have an evasion ability. Now they might, for all I know. It's just at this point in the game, at this level, a Sorcerer doesn't. But you may see one introduced later on. I can have a look through their skill menu when we go learn some moves. Again, that moves the little AoE thing, my second ability for damage, doesn't have like a skill ability placement. You just click it and it does it in front of you. So there's no added element of you having aim and place where your moves will be. Not yet, anyway. I'm not saying it isn't there, because it is. Some of the Sorcerer's later abilities do involve that, the placement of their abilities. So again, Tera emphasizing on the huge role of the player input has in the game, and
Elves lead the way.
I can't fault that.
Feel the
It increases
power.
game longevity, and it keeps the player engaged and interested, because the moment you stop doing it and paying attention to what you're doing, your ability and your effectiveness in what the role you're trying to fulfill drops, which is good. And it also increases the skill base of the game in general. And WoW, as everybody should know, does cater to the newbies. I'm not going to call them noobs, because being new to a game doesn't make you a noob. This means you're new to the game. Now, if someone's at the end of the game and still sucks at what they do, then yes, they are a noob. But there's a difference, and people usually don't differentiate between the two. They drop the generalization down to anyone in the gaming community that doesn't, meet their standard of what should be acceptable. And if you're new to the game, as I said, doesn't make you a noob. It just makes you a newbie, and there is a difference. So, skill base, big difference. I really can't fault. I'm actually really enjoying this, because I guess the reason why I'm enjoying it cast so much is I played a Sorcerer to level 4 and then I stopped playing. I don't know why I did, because I'm enjoying this a lot. I guess it's the playing of, I've leveled multiple Berserkers and Slayers level 14. I've leveled 2 Slayers on 2 servers level 14. I've leveled a Berserker to level 8 on one, and then level 14 to another. So I've gone through this a lot. I've done the melee role of Tera in the opening sequence of the game quite extensively. It did become a bit monotonous, because I've done it repeatedly so often in such a short time, and that will take a role, a toll is what I'm after, sorry, on how interesting and appealing the game is to you. But this Sorcerer, I'm loving this right now, and really enjoying it. But I will say the aiming system, there's one thing, like, if you're tracking someone, there's a little bit of a delay, and the delay doesn't come from lag, it's actually the character tracking with the mouse itself. Oops. The delay comes from the tracking itself. But I suppose that just comes down to, you know, tracking itself. It's kind of like a shooter element thrown into an MMO, and to play a sorcerer in PvP, obviously there's going to be a very large skill base to playing a sorcerer, more than I'd say most, but that's only an assumption, and as to how true that is, I really couldn't quite say, but there's really only one way to find that out, obviously, that's to go play that. I will do some PvP in some later videos, you know, bring that in. I'm considering doing an entire, like a leveling series for Tera of a class, and I'll have to sit down and play each class quite thoroughly, you know, to like level 10. You know, then I get a broader aspect of their play style, their mechanics, and see actually whether I even like those kind of mechanics and play style that each class has. But from what I can say so far for sorcerers, I'm liking it a lot. But the reason why I never jumped straight into a sorcerer berserk, I went a slayer, was I knew that for PvP wise, mobility would play a huge role in this game. Because there's no click and aim shit about it. It all comes down, you got to be there right next to them if you're melee to hit them, obviously. But if you miss because your class is slow,
a cruel card dealer.
You know, that plays a huge role in your
watch my back and
the ability and the ability for you to actually fill your role in PvP and get some a sense of enjoyment out of it. You know, and that's why I picked Slayer, and I didn't want to go play Berserker, I didn't want to go play Sorcerer, because everyone was playing them as well.
The story has a
so I never went and played them. Now, there it is, yes, I forgot they did have a backstep, can't believe I forgot that. There's their backstep, drop that down there, and Mana Infusion. You gain 120 mana points every 2 seconds for 25 seconds. Again, mana points, big, important stuff. Allows you to do your damn moves. Except, you know, my starting base moves for a sorcerer. Which is, you know, that and this. There's a questy guy. There he is. That's alright. We'll wait till they come back. I'm not going to chase after them. So, yes. I still believe I was right in my comment that every class does have an evasion ability, and that backstep, pretty nifty. It's on kind of on a cooldown, so that's the one thing I have noticed, is that the Berserker's defensive ability is on the quickest cooldown. Yes, a block is going to have that, you know, great of an impact in PvP against a sorcerer. A Slayer's, you know, roll. They just roll in whatever direction you cue it to. They, you know, that has its bonuses. It's kind of a gap closer, and I have used it as such in combat. So I guess the very defensive ability that your class is given will play huge roles in how their playstyle is even achieved. And I think the fact that a Berserker's is on like a not even a 1 second cooldown does probably suggest that they're probably, due to their slowness, they maybe have to require to block a lot. Like, this is on a 4 second cooldown, 5 second, even better. You know, so you can see the balancing elements coming in, having a little jump back effect on a range class that deals as much damage as a sorcerer on like a 1 second cooldown is a little bit OP, and You can see those balancing coming in, and now the Sorcerer and the Berserker do the largest amounts of damage in the game, from what I am told. Berserker then Sorcerer, and from what I have seen, that holds true. Like, I've one-shotted, two-shotted crap on my Berserker, just because they hit that so damn hard. Now, I have seen Sorcerers completely obliterate through giant mobs of NPCs pretty damn quickly, but I'm not too sure about the single target DPS, but I don't think it'd be any more different. Oops, that was early. That's alright. I'm gonna dodge this one. Jump! So, there's a huge amount of elements to consider and factor in when you're choosing your class. You can consider what role you want to play in the game itself.
Not all
Like,
tasks are worthy.
So obviously some classes and roles are going to be harder than the others. The tanking classes seem to be pretty hard, and obviously play a huge role in the game. Well, I really do need... That's it, there it is. Need some AoE down there. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. That's alright. Boom. So, what I was saying is, you do have to factor in multiple things and consider what role you want to play, what type of combat you want to be participated in. Is it going to be PvE? Is it going to be PvE? And when considering that, yeah, you got to consider each in class's strengths and weaknesses, the mechanics, their abilities, and you do have to factor in your skill level. Failing to do that will hinder how well you can play the game, because obviously some classes are going to exceed a certain roles, not roles I mean, but certain elements of the game. What am I doing? I don't have to kill those guys. I got to kill these guys. It's alright. I can be newbie for a couple seconds. I'm not going to stand there and tank this. I'm not too worried about taking too much damage. We'll jump back now. Level 4 is what I'm talking about. This is a very unique take on an implementation, for that fact, of a combat system. And so far, I really can't fault it. Yes, there are elements I am considering, but overall, it's extremely enjoyable, extremely satisfying, and very involving. Yes, the kill and collect bit is a little bit monotonous, but the combat system, you know, draws that back into some form of limelight, where it's
the prepared.
Not so, you know,
precious.
boring, I guess is what I'm after. God damn it. One thing I don't like is the inability for key bindings to be carried across. That's alright. I don't even think that fucking worked. What did I change? Auto run. That's where I changed it. Oh wait, yeah. Helps where I press apply. I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, I don't like it on numlock because I got a Razer Naga, so I don't like it. If I turn off numlock, I can't use 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, you get the idea, guys.
Are you ready?
Alright.
Greetings.
Now we will do a little bit. We'll carry this video on.
Out in the wilderness.
Head
Oh,
west.
skip this,
Look for piglins
please.
Clustered around a stand of trees.
Thank you. Oh, what? Oh, wow. The game won't let me
Think it's
skip
the
it.
weak thing for piglins.
Alright. We'll watch Velkus slaughter some piglings. He's such a
Giant piglet is
badass.
something his own size.
Poor little pigling.
Or at least
Their
something
faces
not
kind of remind me of the damn Nasalis from fucking Metro. Dirty bastards. No, I don't think there's much point in continuing this on. You know, you got an idea of the Sorcerer's gameplay mechanics and how they work. It really isn't complicated at all, the combat system. It just requires a lot of player input and a fairly high average player skill base. For PvE and questing terms, no, not really. It's a fairly low skill base. Some elements of the game will obviously require a higher average skill level, but for the most part, it's fairly average. I will hope to be bringing you guys some PvP, some more high level class footage, so you guys can see how the game progresses, not only in terms of I won't say story, because I'm not really following the story, in game content, professions, you know, that general thing, to class spells and how they fulfill their roles later on. So as always, guys, Sarogus here, bringing you the best of gaming, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hope to see you next time.